In this video, we will talk about America's isolationist policy. So, let me introduce you first about this topic. America's isolationist policy has been one of the most discussed topics in international relations. Throughout the 19th and early 20th century, the United States opted to stay away from entangling alliances, believing that its national interests were best served by avoiding involvement in European and global conflicts. Could India ever follow a similar path? Let's explore America's isolationist era and how it might compare to modern day India. So, what was America's isolationist policy? So, America's isolationism can be traced back to the Monroe Doctrine of 1823, where President James Monroe declared that US would stay out of European conflicts. For over a century, this policy kept America out of many global wars, focusing instead on expanding westward and strengthening its economy domestically. Even during World War I, America initially avoided direct involvement, only joining after being provoked by Germany. The trend continued into the 1930s with the US passing the Neutrality Acts to avoid getting entangled in foreign conflicts as tensions rose in Europe and Asia. Now, what was India's approach to non-alignment, since it is similar to what America was following? Interestingly, post-independence India took a somewhat parallel path, though not identical. Under Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, India adopted a policy of non-alignment. The non-aligned movement was aimed at keeping India out of the Cold War power struggle between the US and the Soviet Union. Rather than being isolationist, India chose to engage diplomatically but without aligning with any particular superpower bloc. Similar to America's initial reluctance to join European wars, India refused to take sides in international conflicts like the Korean War or the Suez Crisis. India was more focused on nation building, resolving its domestic challenges rather than getting pulled into the global superpower politics. Now, economic independence. So, both the US during its isolationist phase and India in the early decades of independence shared a strong focus on economic independence. For America, this meant an era of rapid industrialization, the expansion of railroads, and innovations in agriculture. Similarly, India followed a path of economic self-reliance through policies of import substitution and protectionism, aiming to build its own industries. But there's a key difference. While America had abundant resources and a growing domestic market, India's path towards economic self-sufficiency was more challenging due to its large population and colonial legacy of economic exploitation. In recent years, India has shifted towards global integration while maintaining some aspects of economic protectionism, much like the America eventually did in the 20th century. So, isolationism versus strategic economy. So, in this topic, we will discuss about both the countries. One of the major lessons from America's isolationist era is the fine line between avoiding unnecessary entanglements and retreating too far from global affairs. While isolationism kept America out of early European conflicts, it also led the world vulnerable to fascist regimes, eventually pulling the US into World War II. And when we talk about India, India on the other hand has chosen a policy of strategic autonomy. This is different from isolationism. India engages globally as seen in its role in peacekeeping missions, the Quad Alliance, and efforts to stabilize the Indo-Pacific. Yet India avoids binding military alliances that could limit its freedom of action, much like America did prior to World War II. So, could India afford to be isolationist today? In a highly interconnected world, probably not. While America in the 19th century could afford isolationism thanks to its geographical location and its geographic isolation and vast resources, India is part of a globalized economy with key strategic interests in trade, security, and regional stability. Additionally, India faces complex challenges from its border conflicts with China and Pakistan to climate change and cyber warfare. In today's global order, no nation can truly afford to isolate itself. However, India can and should continue to pursue strategic autonomy, much like America's careful balancing act between isolation and global leadership. So America's isolationist policy may have worked in different era, but today's world requires a more nuanced approach. For India, strategic autonomy allows it to safeguard its interests while avoiding the pitfalls of entanglement, and the lessons learned from America's past offer valuable insights as India navigates the complexities of the 21st century. Thank you for watching this video. Do like and comment and share this video.